Hey guys, Isha with the Yu-Gi-Oh Club at UCI here. Coming to you guys with a new deck profile today, a new idea that I've been testing. It's a Golden Castle and Danger mashup. So it's very similar to the Danger Gren Maju builds that have been running around recently, but also incorporates Golden Castle as well. And the reason I wanted to post this deck profile was because I'm really amazed at all the people that have started playing Gren Maju. You know, started when I started playing at Portland with the Golden Castle version, and then it got, I would say, half its popularity there, and then David, who did a really good job, he won YCS Niagara Falls with a pure Danger version, and that really brought a lot of accessibility to the deck because I think a lot of players, already had they already had a lot of Danger cards, and so that really made it easily accessible for people to play Gren Maju, and then as more and more people play Gren Maju, they test different builds, and as we test more games as a community together, we can come up with, we've sort of optimized both decks a little more, and so I've taken, I've looked at what everyone's been doing, and I've tested their changes out, and I'll go over what things that people have been, what texts and what ratios people have been running in my deck profile, and I've got to say it's pretty awesome to see all this work coming together, and so I just wanted to put my new spin on the deck out there and see what other people do with it, see what they think about it, see maybe what ratios could be changed, what could be added, what could be subtracted. So yeah, this is my current thought on a Gren Maju deck, and I'll see what you guys think about it. So first we've got 3 Gren Maju. This is in every Gren Maju deck. Now you can side 1 or 2 of these out, not 2, 1 of these out going first, because it's not a first turn card. So if you're setting in a lot of cards, I could see taking out 1 Gren Maju. But if you're going second, you probably want all 3 in your deck. 3 Gizmek, this is all pretty standard. So these pretty much will be in every Gren Maju deck till the end of time. And so, yeah. So now I want to get to the Danger engine. So I'm really taking a page out of the builds of the past. So I think most Gren Maju decks, almost all, except for the stun variants, play 3 of each of these Dangers, because these are the best Dangers. They pop stuff, they're level 8, they're huge. So I think all the Gren Maju decks play this, so we're still not at anything interesting yet. So for the Danger variants, most of the Danger variants play 3 Ogopogo. I've been trying this card out. I haven't seen it too much, to be honest. So the jury's still out, but it's good to special off Jackalope, which I also haven't seen too much. So the Danger builds play this. One change in the Danger build that I've seen is triple Chupacabra. And I think this is definitely correct. People they're cutting Snake from their decks now because Snake doesn't accomplish the purpose of the Danger engine. The purpose of the Danger engine is to either cycle cards or special rank 8s. And all the Dangers do that, but Jackalope just specials itself as link material, and this deck is not really trying to link off. But this guy, the great thing about Chupacabra is you can revive your Dangers in attack mode, and that is huge because that just puts lots more pressure on your opponent. So 2 Jackalope as well. This specials out basically a level 8 from your deck. You want this to be discarded, and so the purpose of playing Dangers is that they'll discard each other. And then 2 Nessie, because you want to be discarded to either grab yourself a Chupacabra if you're low on cards to revive a Danger, or grab one of your level 8s. So yes, good. So no snakes, and then we're still playing the Golden Castle engine. So we have 3, 2, and then I guess triple Golden Castle as well. And the reason I still play all these cards is that these are just solid going second cards. And what I like to do is I like to play this in the main deck. And sometimes I even like to side it out because I find that a lot of people start putting in Cosmics and Ghost Ogres and Twin Twisters. And then you side this out for your side deck cards, and then they got nothing for your castles and stuff, right? Their Ghost Ogres are useless. But this is a really good game 1 still. What I like about playing a lot of castles is that if you have a Danger, you can just reveal it before you play the castle, and if you discard a castle, it's no big deal because you have 2. And so I really like how there's just so much level 8 spamming in this deck that you're almost guaranteed to get rank 8s out. And then what I like about it is that, you can just side this whole package out, or you know what, if this is really good against the deck you're playing, you just side some of the dangers out, right? And so we're cutting all the fat out of the deck. There's no need for playing cards that are only good in certain matchups. Oh, Phantasme, but you run into the random deck that doesn't link summon. Or, you play Call by the Grave, you run into the deck that's like, True Draco, or you play Cosmic and you run into the deck that runs no back row, right? Or you run Hatronade and you don't play against a deck that Hatronade is good against. What I like about this deck is that every single card in the main deck is good game one, except for except for one card, but that card is certainly worth playing, no matter the reward is so high for playing that card. 3 Desires, extremely good, Gren Maju deck. Yep, triple super poly. This is the card I was talking about. This card is sometimes dead, but it's just, this is a Gren Maju Gizmek super poly deck. I think all Gren Maju decks are almost like this. They're all Gren Maju Gizmek super poly decks first, before any of the dangers or before any of anything else. And so what I also like about the dangers in this build is you can draw this more, which is great. And then I run 1 danger response team for the Ogopogo. The jury's still out on that package, but it's been good. I think the best danger so far, besides the classic ones, has certainly been Chupacabra. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Foolish Burial, and then what I also like about the danger version is it allows me to run card destruction, which is just a sack of a card, and for decks like this, you want to play sacky cards. I noticed a lot of people not running Foolish. I disagree. I think you need to run Foolish because this is, again, like I said, it's a Gren Maju Gizmek super poly deck. And then whatever you decide to put around it, that's just icing on the cake. But Gizmek, that's your first priority because it's just such a good card. So yeah, Foolish it is. Okay, let's go into the side first. Side, I'm just missing 1 card, so bear with me. We got 3 Nibiru. I like this. I like this even going first. A lot of people say, side's going first. I've seen a lot of, I think it's a good idea because when people are going first, they're always playing around Nibiru. But if they're going second, you just put out a monster, you set a back row, they just play, they don't think about Nibiru as much, right? And so when you hit them with it, then it really hurts them. And then I also like with you're getting a little preview of my side deck, but I played this last night at locals, but I just played 3 Danger Zone instead. I really like how you can use this to draw into Nibiru. I think that's really powerful. I like Danger Zone as well. It really helps you going first. And so it's just a solid card going first. You can, for example, if you just OTK them with Castle and Dangers, then you just side out, your Castle engine. You put in these, you put in some Nibirus, maybe you put in, there can be only 1 if they're weak against it, right? The Castle engine's like 8 cards right now. It's 9 cards actually. So you can literally put all of these inside of the Castle engine. I just think that's really cool with this deck because you're also running the dangers. And then we have triple Twin and then triple Cosmic. Twin is a mainstay in this deck for sure. Cosmic I like a lot. I sided in a lot. It's really good against Orchist and stuff. Maybe I'm gonna keep trying Cosmic. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I like that. Extra deck. So we've got extra deck. Extra deck has been updated a little bit over time, but I think the extra deck I played was pretty good at Portland. But this is some new stuff. We Witch for the dangers. I made it once. It didn't really matter too much, but I think it's good to have. You want some link too. And then I have the 3 Nightmares. Didn't make them, but they're always good to have. And then I'm running the 1 BLS as well, just because my friend has access to it. So yeah, but you could, if you don't want to play it. There's a lot of replacements. You don't have this, that's fine. You don't need to play this. It's not necessary at all. I run 1 Dingirsu. Honestly, these are the standard level. These are the ones you go into most often. I cut the Galaxy Eyes package because it's 3 cards for super poly targets, which this is the 3 dark one, very good, would recommend it. This one's also extremely good. I made a mistake not playing it at Portland. This one, people still play Salad, but it's level 8, that's why it's so good in this deck. And then Starving Venom Fusion, still good, probably the most accessible one. And then these are the 3 cards that are, I would say, flex spots, including the BLS link. So, Curious is probably not worth it. I just was trying it out for logos last night. Zombie Sign, a lot of people are playing Lancelot, the thing. I'm not a fan of that card. I just can't see how it would be, especially with Castle in your deck. Zombie Stein might be better because Lancelot lets you attack directly and then pop a face-up monster. But if you just make Zombie Stein, you could just run over the monster that you were gonna pop anyway, because this thing is freaking ginormous. Um, and then you can choose what you want to negate. You have to discard, but that probably doesn't matter too. You have to send. It's not a discard. I wish it was a discard, then everyone would play this card. But you know, it's just kind of strange. I think this card might still be better than Lancelot because Lancelot is managed. It just has to negate the first thing your opponent does. So if your opponent can read, then you know, and then you can't really cheat with the card either, right? Because your opponent will probably, even if they don't read Lancelot, you know, they will activate something that they don't want to negate, and then you as the honest player have to negate what they activate. You can't just pretend like they don't, you know, they didn't read the card. And so I don't know, Mud Dragon, you know, it's I think it's good. It's really good in like the Subterra matchups. It can save your butt in the Rogue matchup sometimes. I would probably keep this in. I might cut this for something, or I could cut all three of these for the Galaxy Eyes package. Or if you don't have the BLS link, you could cut these two, and the BLS link for Galaxy Eyes package. I haven't missed the Galaxy Eyes package too much, but it's really good against pendulums and that sort of thing. So, you know, yeah, that's it. It's also good against Thunder Dragon, but Zonestein's pretty good against Thunder too, because you can run over Colossus. But yeah, I might be missing the Galaxy Eyes package. So I could see if you're on a budget, just take these three out and play the Galaxy Eyes package instead. Or if you don't want to play this, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to play this either, and you can play the Galaxy Eyes package. There's a lot of things you can do with the deck. But I was mainly wanted to post this to hear everyone's thoughts about Gren Maju decks moving forward. I hope people can test this build, see what conclusions they come to. One thing I miss a lot is Eater of Millions, because it allows for those quick wins. This deck can maybe banish 18 cards in one turn, right, with a Desire. Well, I mean, you can get to 26 if you Gizmek on your opponent's turn, but that's tough. So I miss Eater for those quick wins, and those are good against those striker matches where you just need to pop their back row and win right away. So I do miss Eater a lot in those matchups. It's also just good for breaking boards, but I just want to get this out. I want to see what people do with it. And if you guys could let me know what conclusions you guys come to, I'd appreciate it very much. All right, until next time.